Almost 200 years ago said, "Tell me what you eat and I will tell you who you are."
Just as our identity is connected to the foods that we eat, so the identity of Florida is tied to the deeply rooted Spanish cuisine. We'll explore the state's food traditions through kitchen conversations, family histories, and delicious recipes. From the colonial dishes of St. Augustine,
possibly cocido, which is a pork-based stew,
to the Cuban delicacies of Key West.
6 bollos, hot and ready.
From the century-old bakeries and cafes of Ybor City,
Now this is a pan cubano.
to the Latin-infused menus of modern-day Miami.
Traditional Cuban flavors in a whole new food.
This program was made possible by the Florida Humanities Council. We come from all over, and we become one state, where we share in the history and become part of the culture that is Florida. The Florida Humanities Council, bringing Floridians together by sharing the stories of our state.
Uncover the culture, the secrets, and flavors from around the world. And share our passion for blending exquisite ingredients and seasonings. Badia, el alma de tu cocina.
They call me Don Pablo, and 20 years ago, I discovered my passion for great quality coffee. Today, we're roasting excellent quality coffee that's rich, smooth, very complex. It's a taste that's new in the world.
In 1513, Spanish conquistador Juan Ponce de León came upon this pristine shoreline. He would call the land La Florida and claim it for Spain. Other Spanish explorers would follow in his footsteps, planting the seeds of influence that can still be seen centuries later.
A dietary revolution occurred. The moment the Spanish left the old country and settled in Florida, the diet was revolutionized.
Their first real priority was trying to replicate the diet that they had at home. I call it the conquistador complex. Every time someone comes to Florida, all they want to know is how to eat what they ate back in New York or wherever they came from.
The Spanish were keen on flavors, blending of flavors, contrast of flavors. There was an expectation that a Spaniard was going to have garlic, he was going to have garbanzo beans, he was going to have wine, olive oil.
Food defined the Spaniards. Most Spaniards ate a diet consisting of bread, olive oil, and wine. You think about this, the Spanish arrive in Florida. Wheat is very difficult to grow in Florida. Traditional wines don't grow here in the 16th century. Olives don't grow here. Spaniards had to adopt, moreover, and adapt. For the native Floridians, it was maize, it was game, pumpkin, squash, beans.
And they start encountering things like root vegetables. You start finding sweet potatoes, you find cassava, you find corn, for example, being offered to them. And so you get a great deal of blending, and fairly quickly, too.
The things they brought revolutionized Florida.
Citrus fruit came with the Spanish, and initially not the type we think of today, not those beautiful sweet oranges. Spanish oranges at the time were bitter. Spanish cooking relied on balancing bitter and sweet.
The Europeans brought cattle and pigs and chickens and sheep. Iberian Iberico hogs went hog wild in Florida.
Every feral hog in the United States can be traced inevitably back to the early Spanish explorers. Spanish pigs were intended for very minimal care, and so they're very tough and they reproduce at a ferocious rate.
You had cattle ranches as far south as present-day Gainesville, huge cattle ranches in Florida, ranchos.
What became massive industries in Florida can be traced back to the earliest Spanish settlements, like the one founded by Pedro Menéndez de Aviles on the East Coast in 1565. That's where historians say a momentous feast took place.
One of the great connections across the centuries is food. You step off your ship, you've made it safely. The first thing you do is thank God, and the second thing you do is invite your neighbors to dinner. It was not Thanksgiving for a harvest, it was Thanksgiving for safe passage and safe arrival. Of course, every American thinks of Plymouth in 1621, and yet there was an earlier one here in Florida in 1565. So more than 50 years earlier, there was a celebration here. The best guess is that it would have been a fairly simple meal. It would have been a stew, possibly cocido, which is a pork-based stew made with beans, onions, garlic, still a very popular dish in Spain. And that was probably served with ship's biscuit, which is a type of bread that is baked very, very hard, what we would think of today as hardtack, and then wine. Of course, all of these things would have been strange to the natives.
What would have been on the table? Well, I think the Native Americans would have definitely brought corn to the table. They probably would also have brought deer. They would have brought a variety of coastal estuary resources, such as shellfish and fish. And I think what you probably have during this first Thanksgiving is kind of a confluence of these two cultures.
It could have been anything from a very, very simple stew with some bread and wine to a very elaborate feast. And that's one of the great unanswered questions.
It's likely that the rich hearty stew called cocido would help sustain the early settlers here, but it can just as easily please the palates of your friends and family. Let's head to the kitchen and I'll show you how. In my version of cocido, I cook the chickpeas ahead of time, so everything else is a very fast cooking time, and it's really delicious and it's incredibly simple. You can use canned chickpeas for this recipe because all the flavors in this really work together very well. So to start out, I have some chorizo. Now you can use Spanish chorizo or a Mexican style chorizo. And it's very important that you just break it up in the pan really well. And as you see, it has a nice red tint to it. That's what you're going to look for when you're buying chorizo. This one is not giving off too much oil, so I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil, just a tiny touch of olive oil. So next we're going to add chickpeas. A little bit more. And you want to make sure you're constantly stirring. I have this on a medium-high heat because, as I said, this is a very fast cook. I'm adding paprika rather generously, a little hint of cayenne. And again, I'm wanting to toast the spices in that high heat. The next thing I'll add is a little bit of chicken stock because this is going to turn into a stew. And it already just smells wonderful. Now for fun and a little bit of crisp, I decided to add kale to this recipe. You can use spinach if you'd rather. And I want the kale to just start to soften. Now to finish my cocido, I'm adding a pinch of kosher salt, black pepper, a couple of pieces of butter because I want this to thicken it naturally with the butter. As it boils, I'm turning my heat to high. And for the last touch, I thought it would be fun to add some queso blanco or farmer's cheese. It will just start to melt, and as you eat the chickpeas and the chorizo, it's going to be just like finding a little treasure in your stew. So I've cut them into little diced pieces. And you want this to stay very brothy, so I'm just going to get this to the point where the cheese just starts to soften just a little bit. Now, farmer's cheese will not melt too much at this point, and that's about it. I'm going to put it into this small dish. And you really want all of this good juices and every little morsel of chickpea, queso blanco. If you can't find queso blanco farmer's cheese, you can also use queso fresco, but I wouldn't melt it in. I would just serve it right on the top. And this is just beautiful. Look how great this looks. You have to test this recipe for Michelle's cocido and enjoy it and slurp up every last spoonful.
The Spanish controlled St. Augustine in Florida for about 200 years initially, from 1565 until 1763. The city pretty quickly became a military outpost.
If you were a soldier, you brought your own weapons, you brought your own clothing, you brought everything yourself. The only thing the government provided was food. There may not be any gold or silver in your pocket, but there always had to be food in your stomach.
The rooms in the Castillo de San Marcos were used for storage. They stored ammunition and powder for the cannon, but they also stored food for the townspeople. And the governor was concerned about the English attacking St. Augustine and perhaps laying siege to it. He didn't say that he had 1,200 people to worry about. He said he had 1,200 mouths to worry about.
There's no other place in the country like St. Augustine. You have over 447 years of continuous European occupation, not to mention the thousands of years of Native American occupation. And anytime you go out into the field to investigate a property, you're bound to hit something.
And here you have a piece of pottery that is late 1700s, early 1800s.
We have about 150 different types of animals that could have been a food source. That large cow skull right there is really an interesting specimen that we have. It's from a Florida cracker cow, and this would have been the descendant of the Andalusian cattle that Menendez brought over.
The Spanish loved fish and ate almost every variety you could imagine, freshwater and saltwater. But they had a very broad interpretation of what included fish. For example, you could eat manatee during Lent because it's considered to be a fish.
What we typically find in fish remains is we find mullet, we find catfish, we find sheep's head, we find a variety of drumfish.
Some of the things that we consider today to be really desirable as foods were considered kind of like trash foods at the time. Shrimp, probably crab, oysters.
Food could reflect your social and economic class. People of lower economic means would have a more restricted diet.
Corn grew fairly well in Florida, so if you were ordinary, you ate corn. And they complained a lot about eating corn because of what it said about them. For the people, the lower income people, they probably didn't have a kitchen. They probably cooked outside. But for a house such as this, there would have been a kitchen. We call this the oldest house. Its formal name is the Gonzalez Alvarez House. It is a National Historic Landmark recognized by the Department of the Interior. The house was built probably in the middle of the 1720s, and it's a Spanish private residence. The kitchen that we have on the grounds today is a reconstruction to resemble what we think the kitchen would have looked like here in the middle of the 1700s. There's very few kitchens left from the colonial period.
One of the earliest kitchens still intact can be found here at the Peña Peg House on St. George Street.
We are here in front of this beautiful historic home run by the Women's Exchange.
We've run this house for 80 years as a house museum, but the Exchange itself is actually a very modern women's organization.
Maureen, tell me a little bit about who resided here. I have to know about Peña.
Juan Esteban de Peña. He was the royal Spanish treasurer. He's second only to the governor in the entire Florida. Peña's lived here until 1763. And by the stroke of a pen, this became British.
Now, I heard that you have a very interesting kitchen in this home. Is that true?
Well, it is an interesting kitchen, but I'd hate to cook in it.
Can I take a look at it?
Sure. Certainly.
This is kind of a magical room. This is the only room in the house where the coquina is exposed. It's a very special building material. The Spanish used it to build the fort that we have here. And nobody else could use it. It was quarried out on the beach. When you touch it, you're touching hundreds of years of history.
When did you all discover the fireplace?
1969, the house was in terrible shape. And they stripped all the walls down. They found this fireplace here. And in this fireplace were all these utensils.
Just sitting in there?
All walled up in there.
I wanted to know what exactly this was used for.
That's called a wafer iron. See how heavy it is? All right, you'd make up your batter. You would pour it in here, and you would bake it, and it would have a design on it.
Yeah.
And that's the way you cookies, or sometimes communion wafers were made in these irons. So that's the wafer iron. It came in all sizes. Wouldn't you like to bake cookies in that thing? It was very labor intensive, as you can tell here. A lot of elbow grease.
Just a few steps away is a monument to another group with Spanish roots that made the city of St. Augustine their home.
In the 18th century, over 100 settlers arrived here from Minorca off the coast of Spain. 25,000 of their descendants live here today, and you can see the culture and taste their cuisine up and down the streets here in St. Augustine.
The Minorcans today are descendants from a group of people from the Mediterranean who came to Florida in the 1760s. They were a very close-knit, cohesive group, remained that way even after Florida became part of the U.S. And probably one of the things that's known about them the best is the association with their cooking with datil peppers.
There's no other pepper that tastes like it.
They start off green, and then they turn orange like this. It was cultivated by people in their backyards. They found it was excellent to make a hot sauce with. People from especially up north and other parts of the world really liked the datil because the flavor is very unique.
That's so good.
Kind of a sweet, unique, peppery flavor, but it also gives a lot of what people like and call heat. It is about 350 to 400 Scoville units, which compared to a habanero, it's hotter than a habanero at about 2 to 250.
Each year, vendors gather at the Datil Pepper Festival to give folks a taste of local flavor.
Oh, exactly.
That was good.
And amateurs offer up their own spicy creations in the Datil Pepper Hot Sauce Contest.
We generally will get about 70 to 80 entrants. We will have sauces that are tomato-based, sauces that are mustard-based, and sauces even that are a combination.
Oh. I don't care for that one either. No.
While there's no doubt about its popularity, many question its roots and whether it was truly brought here by the Minorcans. But for the Minorcan families who have lived here for generations, it will always hold a special place in their culture and cuisine.
Michelle, this is an old family recipe that we'd like to share with you. It's chicken perlo.
Looks like arroz con pollo.
It does. But I can guarantee you it's not.
The difference between this, just looking at it, and arroz con pollo is that everything is in small pieces, so it all just kind of shreds almost and cooks together.
Yes.
But it also smells a lot different than arroz con pollo. So where is this originally from?
It's from Minorca.
Oh my God, it's spicy.
Yes, that's the datil pepper in it. It's very spicy.
Wow, that almost tastes like Caribbean jerk. And then what are these? They look like empanadas.
That's fromageadas, Minorcan cheesecakes.
So fromage for the cheese.
Correct.
It's kind of like a cheese empanada. It's interesting. I had heard that it takes a lot of lard into that dough.
1 pound can of lard. It's not very good for you.
This doesn't take any lard, right?
No, but it starts with 2 tablespoons of baking grease.
Okay. So nice and light.
Yes,
These menus.
absolutely. So we can go out and work in the fields.
Great. Wow, that pilao was so interesting and so tasty. You know, they serve it all along these restaurants here in St. Augustine, but I can't wait to try my version of this Minorcan dish. I have some beautiful shrimp today, and I'm going to turn this dish into something that I truly think is just wonderfully delicious, not too hard to make. It takes about 25 to 30 minutes, and it's just really yummy. Take a little bit of bacon. That was my favorite part of the recipe to begin with, and dice it up really small. And the beginning phase of this dish is a sofrito. Sofrito is very, very important to Latin and Spanish cookery. In fact, you'll find in a lot of Latin homes, sofrito is made ahead of time. A big batch is made, frozen, and little by little, you use your sofrito in a lot of different dishes, essentially in rice dishes. It just gives it a lot more flavor, and for me, a nice creamier texture. Once the bacon renders out its fat, I'm going to add some onions, peppers, and some chopped garlic. And this is the part where you need to cook this for at least 20 minutes until it gets nice and soft. Once that gets really nice and soft, you add some chopped tomatoes without their skins. And then I've got some datil peppers. They're really spicy, they're delicious. These happen to be pickled datil peppers, which are really easy to find. So I've got some chopped up datil peppers. One of my peppers has seeds, the other one does not, so that it's kind of medium spicy. You know, all the heat is in the seeds and in the veins of the peppers. So you mix this and you let it cook for as long as you can. So if you have the time, go for an hour and a half. If you don't have the time, for example, the one I made today, give it about 45 minutes. And this is what your sofrito should look like. Really nice and soft and creamy. It almost turns into a puree. So from there, I'm going to add the rice. Now for my pilao or pilao, I'm going to add some Spanish bomba rice. This is the same rice that you would use for paella. Mix that in really well. Cover it and completely coat it with your sofrito. Once that's done, my little trick is, this is what my mom taught me, you add a bottle of beer. No matter what you're making, if it's a rice dish, the beer just makes it delicious. Always a Pilsner. So I'm adding a bottle of beer to that. You can add, to this dish, you can add either chicken stock or shrimp stock. It's really up to you, whatever you've got around, whatever you like. In this dish, I'm actually using chicken stock. And then you cook this for 20 minutes. Once the 20 minutes are up, you would add your shrimp to the rice and you'd mix it in. The rice is basically cooked. You just need the shrimp to cook. So cover the pot for about 5 to 10 minutes. The more it sits, the better it is because it builds flavor. And here you have a beautiful shrimp pilao, my style, a little bit spicy. I cannot wait for you to try it.
The next great break point is Key West in 1868. It's one of the great Florida stories. There's a terrible war of independence raging in Cuba from 1868 to 1878. And several thousand Cubans fled the island and settled in Key West. Key West really becomes a Cuban city in the late 19th century. You would have barrios and cafes, cigar factories, Spanish patrones such as Vicente Martinez Ybor, Eduardo Gatto, land there. In fact, Key West is often called Cayo Hueso again, its ancient name.
Spanish was spoken as much as English back then. You'd go to the little markets and there were Spanish and Caribbean products that would be there. If you drank coffee, it would be a café con leche. The Cuban mission has been to be very faithful in the recreation of the cuisine of the mother country. There was nothing to prohibit them from cooking just like their grandmothers and grandfathers and their grandmothers and grandfathers before them.
This newly imported cuisine of Cuba would have a long-lasting influence on Florida chefs.
The first ingredient that I fell in love with were the Maduro plantains, the caramelized ones that were served with some roast pork, some onions, some lime, and a little cafe on Duval Street. And I was wondering, why are there bananas on my dinner? And then I tasted them, and then I didn't really need to worry about that anymore. It was straight deliciousness.
Today, only a handful of Cuban restaurants carry on the tradition. Pepe's Cafe is the longest-running restaurant on the island with Cuban roots. And Five Brothers Grocery is a local favorite for authentic café con leche and Cuban street food, including one dish in particular that has all but disappeared from the restaurant menus.
These are bollos. They're ground black-eyed peas with spices mixed into it, garlic, salt, and hot sauce, similar to hush puppies. My grandfather opened this store 35 years ago. We're having our anniversary this summer, and we've been making it the same way. And we're actually the only location in town you can actually get these anymore. 6 bollos, hot and ready.
Perhaps the most dramatic food story in late 19th century Florida is the founding of Ybor City.
Tampa's Latin Quarter was once called the cigar capital of the world, and it's easy to see why.
A man after my own heart using a brûlée torch to light his cigar.
Vicente Martinez Ybor moved his cigar operations from Key West to Tampa, Florida.
It changed it just radically, almost overnight. 1885 is when the first factories were built here in Tampa. Right around the same time, all these cafes and restaurants are opening up. And really by 1900, although Ybor City wasn't quite as large population-wise as Tampa was, it had far more restaurants.
You had people immigrating, looking for that better opportunity. So you had people coming from all around, from Spain, from Cuba, from Sicily.
Ybor City was a poor community, but I think in the culinary sense, it was a very rich community. Just a rainbow of cuisines.
Rows of these quaint casitas filled Ybor City. They were home to the cigar factory workers and their families. But just imagine, no air conditioning, the windows were open, and the sense of the Spanish, Cuban, and Italian cooking filled the streets.
You know, I think real fusion cuisine happens organically, not in like a chef's laboratory, but when people live close enough to each other that they can smell each other's cooking.
Ybor City remains one of the great immigrant working cities in American history. And in America, your life would be better, your children's life would certainly be better. And this was often measured very simply, food. You could buy a loaf of Cuban bread or Sicilian bread once a day, twice a day if you wanted. They could drink coffee 5 or 6 times a day, and they did. You had people called El Cafetero, whose job was to supply café con leche to the tabaqueros, to the cigar workers in the factories. So there's a real coffee culture.
That coffee culture is still going strong at one local spot. Naviera Coffee Mills has been roasting coffee here for nearly a century.
My grandfather was born in northern Spain, and he came over following the tobacco industry, which was in Ybor City at the time. Coffee was used to socialize. They would go to a little restaurant and drink a little cup of coffee because it didn't cost much, like maybe a nickel. And they would spend an hour or two socializing, talk politics, talk health, talk anything.
And though this 4th-generation coffee business has evolved over the years, there's still an old-school cafe for socializing.
We will occasionally get people from Seattle, Washington, and they come in and say, "Can I have a cup of espresso?" I said, "Surely." He said, "Because I'm from Seattle and I know what espresso is." And I turn them around and tell them to look at the picture that's hanging on the wall in 1921 when my grandfather had his little business. I said, "We knew it back then."
Just as important as the coffee was the Cuban bread, delivered fresh every morning to the cigar makers and their families.
What sets inside at least the Cuban bread is the crust. You have that dried out exterior, and that turns out a really thin, nice, crispy, messy, crummy crust, while the inside stays nice and moist.
La Segunda Central Bakery has kept the Cuban bread tradition alive for 4 generations. Today it's run by Tony Moret and his son Copeland.
Well, my great-grandfather, Juan Moret, is from Spain, came to Cuba to fight in the Spanish-American War in the late 19th century. Learned the art of making Cuban bread there during his time and decided when the war was over to come to Tampa to feed all the cigar workers with Cuban bread and Cuban sandwiches more specifically.
And tell me a little bit about the palmetto leaf and why it's used.
My great-grandfather picked up the palmetto leaf when he was in Cuba, and so this became the tradition. Letting the bread open up on top, letting the gases escape when it gets into the oven, and creating the shape and texture that we like to see.
What makes your Cuban bread different? I heard that texture is like the most important part, which to me is the most important part of bread anyway.
A perfect loaf of Cuban bread is going to have a little bit of sour flavor in it. Our baking process is very slow, so the time it drops from the mixer to the time it goes in the oven is a long process, somewhere about 8 to 10 hours. Right before the bread goes in the ovens, we put it in front of fans to dry out the exterior and give it a little bit of crust. Right. It's crunchy and then very soft on the inside.
And it has a little chew to it as well. It is really delicious. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
I bet this makes a mean Cuban sandwich.
Cuban sandwich that we started making, early 20th century, about the time my grandfather came around here. The Cuban sandwich to Miami was, I think, brought in around the 60s.
The birthplace of the Cuban sandwich and exactly how it should be made have become controversial topics these days.
The Cuban sandwich debate. The most problematic ingredient is probably the Genoa salami. From Miami, the perspective is Genoa salami doesn't belong on a Cuban sandwich. We'll never know what an original Cuban sandwich looked like. I'll be the first in line if they discover the recipe in a dusty drawer.
The Cuban sandwich arguably first became a thing here at the Columbia.
The Columbia restaurant is an Ybor City landmark and another multi-generational gem with humble beginnings.
It actually started on December 17, 1903, the same day the Wright brothers took flight. And my great-grandfather was the general manager of this Columbia Saloon, as it was known. And then he saved up the money and he bought the Columbia Cafe in 1905.
To me, that's like the American story, right? I mean, the American dream. It's not getting off, the ship with all this money and just buying a business. No, it's about breaking your back for 7 years, and then you buy the business. And of course, it wasn't a great time to buy a bar in Tampa because the state of Florida was about to go dry.
But then comes Prohibition. What do you do? Well, that was a huge challenge that they faced, and what they did was they merged with a little restaurant called La Fonda next door, Manuel Garcia, and so that they could both work together to try to survive.
That was the first of the Columbia's kind of major transformations, and it wouldn't be the last.
From the opening of Tampa's first air-conditioned dining room in 1935 by Casimiro Hernandez Jr., to the evolution of the Columbia into an entertainment mecca when Cesar and Adela Gonsmark took the helm, to the current generation who expanded the business and updated the menu while retaining the recipes that put them on the map.
Sir Richard, it's kind of amazing that we're sitting here in the space that originated your family's history.
This is the oldest restaurant in Florida, and probably the largest, with 15 dining rooms, 1,700 seats. It's a 52,000 square foot restaurant, and it's a 6,000 square foot kitchen. The 1905 style has been the signature. It's the most popular item at lunch and well requested, and mixed table side.
I have to try a little bit. Oh my God, this is delicious.
I'm
gonna have to take that with me.
This is the house salad. We want to make sure if there's a table that everybody has it because it just has this wonderful garlic flavor.
That's delicious. So what else? Tell me about the soup.
The Spanish bean soup was created here by my great-grandfather, made with a hearty chicken and ham stock, garbanzo beans, chorizo, smoked ham, and potatoes. And the chorizo gives the wonderful flavor of the paprika and the color.
Tell me about your paella.
The paella valenciana is our signature. We do 3 different paellas. We import our olive oil, or olives, and the rice that we use is La Bomba. It's the best rice you can have.
I love that you're using the white asparagus, just the big fat ones that like you get in Spain. All right, so let's finally talk about the Cuban sandwich.
The Cuban sandwich, the big controversy, Miami versus Tampa. You know,
and I'm a Miami girl.
My great-grandfather and grandfather who came from Cuba, who started the restaurant, they said every sandwich is a Cuban sandwich, but it was known as a mixto. We start with a baked ham that's got sugar glaze, and the pork is marinated in a mojo and roasted slowly. And then we top that, this is where the controversy begins, with a Genoa salami with peppercorns. And then we top it up with a Swiss cheese, sour pickle, and mustard.
This for me is so different.
This is a 1941 recipe with the quantities, and a Cuban sandwich doesn't have to have a lot of meat, it has to have the right proportion of ham, pork, salami.
And I love how slender it is. You know, it's aplastado, it's pressed so well.
Aplatado. Again, the resurgence of the Cuban sandwich for Tampa now has named their official sandwich the 1941 Columbia Original Cuban Sandwich.
So it definitely comes from Tampa.
It comes from Tampa. Forget
No doubt
Miami.
about it.
No matter where you stand on the debate, whether you like salami in your Cuban sandwich or not, I hope you try my version. It takes this classic sandwich to a whole new level. So to me, the Cuban sandwich is all about putting my favorite ingredients in it, what I think will really promote the flavors of the delicious pork and then of course the cheeses. So instead of putting butter on my inside of my Cuban sandwich, I'm actually going to put mayonnaise because I love mayonnaise. And of course, this is my Cuban sandwich. So if you don't like mayo, or if you want to make it a little more traditional, then stick to the butter. But I'm putting mayonnaise on both of my cut sides of bread, a little bit of mustard, which is more traditional, on the inside as well. And that's Dijon mustard. And then we start stacking it up. Now here I have some caramelized onions, and I put some pickled jalapenos all chopped up into the onions to add my spice. And I love that pickling flavor as well because it gives it like a tartness, a sweetness, and a spiciness. My next layer will be the pickles. Pickles are really, really essential because they give it a crispness and a tartness and a brininess and a saltiness that you can't really get with anything else. Ham, which you can get at a deli. Now this pork I roasted myself, but you can buy roast pork loin pretty much in any Latin market and slice that up nice and thin. And then, of course, the cheese. I have here Swiss and Gruyere. And then finally, those pickled onions and pickled jalapenos mixed into it for topping. And they're just meltingly soft, and they just smush into that bread. And who doesn't like a little bit of spicy? And then you top it, and you press. So I'm going to add a little bit of butter into a saute pan. Now the pressing of the sandwich is essential. This is really how it packs everything in. It makes it warm and crispy on the outside and sort of still stays a little bit cool yet melting on the inside. And so the grilling of the sandwich in the pan and the Cuban bread is oh so essential as well for a good Cuban sandwich because anything else would be not so Cuban. So putting the presentation side, the top side down first. Put that into the pan. I've got it on about a medium heat. You don't want to go too high because it will burn. And then I'm delicately going to push another pan that's about the same size right on top. Not pushing too hard, just a little bit. Of course, if I had a sandwich press, that would be magic. And I'm just going to wait for it to turn a little bit golden brown and just more than anything, a little bit crispy. Take a look and see how that looks. Ooh, not bad. Okay. Flip it over, do the same thing. To me, the butter just makes it so much more delicious, and it really smells wonderful and nutty. Okay, I think we're ready. I'm gonna put that on my board. Cut that right in half. So I make mine a little bit sweet and spicy and a little even more untraditional than what we've seen earlier today. Now that is a beast of a delicious Cuban sandwich. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. Miami's Cuban flavor all began right here. Behind me, the Freedom Tower became a processing center for thousands of Cuban immigrants and a symbol of their freedom. Cubans would arrive here with nothing but their traditions, cultures, and family recipes.
The gigantic changeover from the Cuban influence in Miami and above the Keys was, of course, Fidel. And the 1960s and the escape from Fidel's despotism. Families fled, and when they could, and they took what they could salvage. They settled in Miami, but many moved to New York. But that's when you saw the huge upshoot in the Cuban population in the United States. The character of Miami is dependent upon that in so many ways, and gives us so many unique flavors that people from all over the world that talk to me about cuisine are quite curious about and quite affected by. This is an exciting and different place than any other place I've ever cooked at in the world.
Kind of comfort food. It's not a complicated cuisine. It's not a very overly thought out food. It's very simple food.
It always has been the cuisine that's most influenced me. Because the repertoire of Cuban cuisine and dishes is very large. Classical and regional Cuban dishes, there might be 30 classic Cuban soups. You know, hot food, there might be like 150 dishes that I may know of that are very classic.
Speaking of classics, one Miami spot stands out as the grandfather of Cuban restaurants. Founded by Felipe Valls as a small sandwich shop with a coffee window, today Versailles is run by his son, Felipe Valls Jr.
Versailles opened 41 years ago already. And it's just become kind of like the town center within Miami's Cuban community. And so it's really become very symbolic. We definitely keep our recipes as authentic as possible. So you have arroz con pollo, which is like a paella. It's also popular in Spain. All our stews, caldo gallegos, you know, Gaelic or Galician soup, you know, the white rice, the black beans. Cuban coffee in Versailles is probably about 1,000 to 1,200 cups a day that are served between the window and the dining room easily. The windows have become, you know, obviously very popular, and it's become a point of conversation. You know, the Cuban sandwich has become very, very popular. What made the Cuban sandwich famous, really nationwide or worldwide or whatever, is obviously the Miami influence. The recipe is basically butter on one side, mustard on the other, pickles, ham, cheese, and the pork, and the bread to be authentic Cuban bread.
The Miami Cuban sandwich is noticeably different from Tampa's version, but Cuban-American chef Douglas Rodriguez gives it a whole new twist by taking away what many believe to be the most integral part.
Pretty much a breadless Cuban sandwich. So all the ingredients in the Cuban sandwich.
Right.
It has Swiss cheese. I have a Cuban guy that makes my ham, and he makes the ham in Hialeah. And then it has roast pork that we roast in the house, and pickle. And we layer it all in a tureen. Steam the tureen so the cheese melts, unmold the tureen, cut it into strips, and then wrap it.
So it's a simple process that everybody can make at home.
Well, I don't want to give you the whole secret or else you won't make the reservation.
And Douglas recommends you wash it down with a classic Cuban cocktail, the mojito.
This is what started the revolution. Every bartender in the world must hate the Cuban cocktails because it seems like if a cocktail doesn't have a leaf or a piece of mint or basil in it these days, thanks to the Cubans, right?
Here in Miami, at least, well, in a lot of places now, there's everything from the strawberry mojito to the lychee to the watermelon.
I love the watermelon.
The watermelon's
The
yummy.
watermelon's good.
But this, I don't think there's anything better than a perfect mojito.
And it has to be the balance. You have to have the right amount of lime, the right amount of mint, the right amount of rum.
Bueno, salud.
Cheers.
And thank you. Miami has always been known as a Cuban food mecca, but nowadays you can pretty much find any and every style of Cuban and Latin foods on its streets. From Argentinian to Puerto Rican to Peruvian, we've got it all, giving Miami a taste you can't find anywhere else in the world.
There's the broad range of empanadas. There's so many different ways to do empanadas, much like the tortillas of Mexico. Flans, custards, things like that have all different kinds of touches.
We had an influx of Nicaraguans. Their cuisine influenced Miami. For example, the tres leche dessert, which we all today think is part of Cuban cuisine. That's not a Cuban dessert, that's a Nicaraguan dessert. 30 years ago, when I first started my career, most of the executive chefs at restaurants were imported from Europe. Now you're seeing a big change that most restaurant chefs are Latin. Could be Colombian, they could be Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican.
You got your chorizo cooking, all the flavors are coming together.
Chef Jimmy Carey grew up in Puerto Rico. When he came to Miami 20 years ago, he brought with him his passion for the cuisine.
This is special. It is special. People come to Miami for this. People come to Miami to taste Latin, South American, Central American, Caribbean, all these different flavors. Puerto Ricans, the Venezuelans, the Colombians, a lot of Central Americans coming to Miami. So there's an amazing influence of all these flavors.
Mixed seafood, saffron broth, a little white wine, and our famous mofongo on top of it.
The Puerto Rican dish, mofongo is so part of the culture. It is Puerto Rico. Mofongo is Puerto Rico. I thought that mofongo for our restaurant was one of those things that would attract all my friends, Puerto Rican friends that live here. It's interesting to see all the Anglos looking at the mofongo and going, what is that? That looks great, I want that.
Ceviche is probably the hottest dish. Any restaurant in Miami will have a ceviche on the menu, and that's certainly not a dish that's part of the Miami roots, but it seems like it is now.
Of course, Peru is probably the rightful home of ceviches. The refreshing and powerful and simple nature of ceviches is something that people prize from all over. The Peruvian love of fish and matched with the Japanese sort of sensitivity toward the freshness and pristineness, I think touches many chefs in the way they want to present food.
Peruvian transplant Juan Chipoco brought his Ceviche 105 concept to Miami in 2008.
So tell me a little bit about where you're from in Peru.
I'm from Lima, Peru. It's very unique. I think our food is very, 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 very homemade, very energetic, and passionate.
It's definitely passionate. And the one thing I do love about the food from Peru, first of all, it's very colorful. I mean, just looking in front of you, all the beautiful bright colors, it's happy food.
Ceviche is a raw fish. It's come from Japanese and Chinese influence. Of course, we put Peruvian peppers like rocoto, the red ones, yellow pepper like amarillo. And Pucusana one is a mixture of rocoto and touch of roasted garlic and onions. It's really good, and I love the colors. That's why, like you said, it's a lot of power, energetic, passionate. We grew up looking these kind of colors every single day.
Wow, that's beautiful.
When customers coming in, they love it because they feel something very special. Like they never tried something like that because Peruvian food is flavorful and different because you sometimes get ceviches, Peruvian causa, that's a Peruvian yellow potato, the quinoa.
Quinoa comes from Peru. I don't think a lot of people know that, and quinoa has become so incredibly important for us. And then the corn is so different.
The choclo one.
Yeah, this is the choclo?
Yes.
And then cancha.
Cancha, that's a Peruvian dry roasted corn.
Oh, and then let's tell people about the sweet potato. You know what I use the sweet potato for? To extinguish the heat in my mouth.
It's a great idea. That's a great combination.
So good. It's fresh and so flavorful. Don't be afraid to try making ceviche at home. In fact, check out my version of this trendy Peruvian dish with just a few basic ingredients. It's simple and always delicious. There's so many beautiful styles and flavors and ways of making ceviche. Start with a really fresh, delicious piece of fish, obviously. Here in Miami, we use yellowtail snappers, groupers, anything that is a nice, white, firm flesh that's very fresh. So wherever you might be in the country, just make sure whatever you're using happens to be very fresh, white and tender, and a little bit flaky would be perfect. So you start out, I cut this nice and small because this is going to marinate a very short time, because that's the way I like to eat my ceviche. So I'm starting with the fish, and I have some fresh calamari that was actually just fished last night. And when making a ceviche with calamari, I make sure that it's cut very, very, very thin. So as soon as the acid hits it, it feels like it has the texture of cooked calamari. And the first thing I do is heavily salt the fish and whatever seafood you're putting into it. And then I like to throw in some chilies. These happen to be serranos, but you can use jalapenos if you can't find serranos, scotch bonnets, habaneros, whatever it is that you have in your area to give it a nice hot flavor. I do it without seeds so I can use more of the pepper and less of the heat of the pepper. Once this has seasoned well, I like to put this into our refrigerator for about an hour, and the juices of the fish start releasing. And it's actually the beginning processes of the ceviche. So an hour later, you take it out of a cooler, and most ceviches are just lime juice, but I like to add a little bit of lime and a little bit of orange for that balance of flavor. Now, the one thing I'm going to tell you is do not use pre-squeezed or purchased juices. If you're going to bother making ceviche, please squeeze your own citrus. So that was about 2 to 1 lime to orange. And go ahead and mix that up and let that sit for about an hour to 2 hours in your refrigerator. Then you would add your cooked shrimp and give that a mix. So you would want to let that sit for as long as you really want to. For an hour to 2, you can get a nice sort of a rare texture. And then the longer you leave it, I wouldn't leave it more than about 4 to 6 hours, it starts to actually look a little bit more sort of opaque. Then you'd add some chopped cilantro, some julienne red onion. In Peru, you find a lot of raw red onion sitting on top of ceviche. I personally love to mix my onion into my ceviche so that it softens a little bit. And then one of my favorites, I add a little bit of really good extra virgin oil on the top. And finally, avocado. Depending on the season, if we have Florida avocados, I use them. If not, I go ahead and use a beautiful Hass or Mexican avocado. Cut it into nice diced pieces and throw that right into my ceviche. Give it a little mix again. And the colors are just beautiful. And the one thing that's very, very important is that all of my seafood smells like the ocean. It doesn't smell like seafood. Fish should not smell like fish. Fish should smell like the sea, as does the ceviche. It just should be beautiful and the freshest you can get. And that's it. So simple, so delicious. I can't wait to dig in.
Food is a great way of distinguishing who you are, the culture that you come from.
Our food traditions teach us about who we were, but also offer signs of who we will become. As new immigrants reach these shores, our cuisine will continue to evolve.
I do see Latin cuisine being more influential in all other cuisine genres.
The population of the United States has shifted into a predominantly Latin population.
Thanks for joining me on this culinary trek through 500 years of Florida history. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you try something new in your kitchen. I'm Michelle Bernstein, and buen provecho.
This program was made possible by the Florida Humanities Council. We come from all over, and we become one state, where we share in the history and become part of the culture that is Florida. The Florida Humanities Council, bringing Floridians together by sharing the stories of our state.
Uncover the culture, the secrets, and flavors from around the world. And share our passion for blending exquisite ingredients and seasonings. Badia, el alma de tu cocina.